Hello everyone, and welcome to my playthrough for Digimon World 2003, and I would like to emphasise that this is Digimon World 2003 and not the regular Digimon World 3. Digimon World 2003 is the only version I've ever owned of this game. I've never owned Digimon World 3. I say that because I think there are some differences between the game, but I wouldn't really know, having only played this one. But yes, this is Digimon World 2003, which, well, I've owned the game since 2004, 2005, something like that. I was 11 years old at the time, and this was my favourite game for quite a few years. Obviously, it doesn't give me the same thrill that it used to give me, but going by my memories of the game and my experiences of when I was younger, you know, this does hold down as a game that I am very fond of. And what I'm going to be doing is not a standard playthrough. Obviously, you would see in the title and the description, but obviously it's only right that I explain it all, because this playthrough is coming with commentary, and at the moment we haven't even entered the Digimon world, and okay, I think this is where it asks me for the information. Okay, so GA968. We'll do away with the art, so GA968. And the pack that I need is the pack that has Kotemon, and that would be pack A, because Kotemon is exclusive to this pack. I think Renamon and Patamon pop up in more than one pack, but not Kotemon. Kotemon is exclusive to pack A. And so the playthrough that I'm going to be doing is no gym, no equipment, no item, Kotemon Solo. So I'm doing the game from start to finish, doing everything that is required for storyline purposes. I won't be doing the additional content after you beat the final boss, the content that's exclusive to Digimon World 2003. I won't be doing that. I will solely be completing the game, but I'm not allowed to use the gym because, well, when you level up, you get training points, and you can then use the training points to work out at the gym and boost your stats. but no gym is one of the restrictions, so I won't be able to use the gym to boost my stats. No equipment, which means I'm not allowed to equip, you know, weapons, armours, accessories. Again, these are things that boost your stats. You equip weapons and it boosts your attack. You equip armours and it boosts your defense. So I'm not allowed to use any equipment, no weapons, armours, accessories or anything, and I'm also not allowed to use in battle items, you know, like power charges, super charges, life discs, life plugs. The items that you use during battles, I'm not allowed to use any items like that. Power charges, super charges, I'm not allowed to use any items like that at all, be it in battle, out of battle. I'm strictly not allowed to use items. And it's a Kotemon Solo, so Kotemon is the only Digimon that I'm allowed to use. Renamon and Patamon will be stored away as soon as I've got the opportunity to. Kotemon is the only Digimon I'm allowed to use, but obviously I am allowed to Digivolve. So, I am allowed to, like, Digivolve Kotemon into better Digimon, but I'm not allowed to switch Kotemon out for anyone. And here I have my very first battle. Renamon and Patamon are in the pack, but there's nothing I can do about that. However, I'm not going to be using either of them. I'm just going to be using Kotemon, and hopefully this one hothead will do the job. And it has. And the reason why I'm doing this playthrough, it is solely for the enjoyment and satisfaction of completing a game that I'm highly fond of, but with added restrictions to make more of a challenge, and hopefully try and bring back some of the thrill that I really used to get out of this game. And I've been sent to the Digimon lab, which is just where I need to be. Switch Digimon. Bye bye Renamon. Bye bye Patamon. And Kotemon, you and I are going to hopefully grow very fond of each other throughout this playthrough, because all we're going to have is each other. All I'm going to have is Kotemon, and all Kotemon is going to have is me. And having disposed of Renamon and Patamon, I am just going to do a tiny bit of looting in the city. I repeatedly select this until I get 300 bits. And then go down here where I will get another 300 bits, and then I'm going to get the card folder from Digimon. And as I was saying, yes, I'm doing this challenge, and in the past, back in 2012, I did actually do for this game a no gym, no equipment challenge, where I wasn't allowed to use the gym, I wasn't allowed to use any equipment. However, I was allowed to use whichever Digimon I wanted to use. And as well as using Kotemon, I also used Patamon, Renamon, Kumamon, and I think that was it. but then I was also allowed to use items like life discs, life plugs, as well as stat boosting items like HP chips, MP chips, things like that were used to boost stats. And well, the challenge was great fun. It's on YouTube. I've got a playlist for it. And I wanted to revisit this game. I wanted to do another playthrough, another challenge, and so I've decided to effectively do what I did before, but with further restrictions. The further restrictions being no items and Kotemon Solo. Now, there's no need to rest because all I will recover is 20 MP. I'm not really worried about that at the moment. And there's no point going into the item shop because, well, there is quite literally nothing in there that I can buy that I'm allowed to use. Because I'm not allowed to use weapons, I'm not allowed to use armours, I'm not allowed to use items or accessories, so why on earth would I go to the item shop? So that item contained a power charge, which is something I'm not allowed to use, but I do have a bit of OCD when it comes to opening items, because you get items, various items in this game, and I do have a bit of a OCD or obsession trying to collect as many as possible. Just to sort of make the area feel clean. And the power charge, well, it will be sold. There is nothing else that I can do with it. It's just going to waste space in my inventory. So at some point it will be sold. At the moment, what I'm doing, I'm here in Central Park and I'm just running around in circles with the intention of getting into battles, because the only way that I'm going to boost my stats and get stronger is from gaining experience and gaining levels, leveling up. So that's why I'm just getting into random battles. I just want to stay in Central Park where I'm against the weakest of Digimon, and I want to get myself up to a level 3, and then I will enter the Wire Forest, where I will go up against slightly tougher opposition, and I will then again just randomly get into encounters, get into battles, and get myself up to level 5. Then I will have learnt to Digivolve to Kotemon's champion, and I will have better stats, and then I will feel comfortable going to Plug Cape and Shad Beach, in the interest of getting the ball rolling with obtaining the kicking boots and the fishing rod. The kicking boots, which you use to kick trees in order to battle Cardmon and random encounters, and the fishing rod that you use again to battle Cardmon and to get into random encounters. The kicking boots and the fishing rod are going to come in handy, especially the fishing rod. So those are items that I am interested in. But the Digimon who spawn in those areas are probably a bit too tough for me at the moment, and that's why I'm keen to get a few levels under my belt before I attempt to do anything at all adventurous. And I've come back to rest because I ran out of MP, which meant I could no longer do Hothead, and also my HP wasn't at its fullest either. I haven't lost any HP, but from reaching level 2, my max HP went up, and obviously my actual amount stayed the same. So I wanted to recover my HP as well. Now I've just entered the Wire Forest entrance, but I won't be going into the Wire Forest just yet. I'm going to remain here because the battles that I get into are the same as the ones that I would get into in Central Park. So I'm just going to stay here until I get up to level 3, because like I said, oh, there I am, level 3. Okay, I'll now enter the Wire Forest. Yeah, because the battles here are the same as Central Park, so this is effectively the same as Central Park, but now that I'm at level 3, I'm now entering the Wire Forest. And there is a item down here, well, after the battle. Ah, Kotemon. Now that's just the opponent I wanted. Because out of the Digimon in this area, Kotemon is the one that scores us the most experience. He gets us 11 experience points, Betamon gets us 10, Kunamon gets us 6. But in the Central Park and the forest entrance, there were only 2 types of Digimon, Kunamon that gets you 6 experience and another that gets you 5 experience. So I'm obviously, now that I'm up to a level 3, I'm better off getting into battles here against better opposition and gaining more experience. The Digimon that I'm going up against, none of them should pose me any trouble, and it just makes sense to go for the ones that will score you that little bit extra experience, because that way you just level up that little bit quicker. And so I'm at level 3, I want to get up to level 5, so I am just going to be getting into battles for the time being until I get up to level 5. And I've chosen to loiter just outside the forest inn. That's because if anything bad was to happen, if I was to get low on MP, or if I was to get ambushed and get attacked and my HP was to get low, I can just go straight into the inn, rest, and recover my HP and MP. Whereas if I was a substantial distance from the inn, then along my way to the inn, there'd be the risk of me getting into more encounters and then the risk of me getting defeated. Because you have to remember, resting is the only way that I will be able to recover HP and MP in this game. Can't do it with items, that's against the rules. Level 4. Okay, and well, just one more level required, but with any kind of game like this, the games where you gain experience and you level up, like with any game, the more you level up, the more experience you need in order to continue to level up. And the point I'm making is that getting from level 4 to level 5 is probably going to take quite a bit longer than getting from level 1 to level 2, and then level 2 to level 3, and level 3 to level 4, etc. So I may be here for a little while, but so far I'd say it's all going according to plan. And my reason for choosing Kotemon is because under the restrictions that I have, I have done quite a bit of research online with various resources to see, how it works with Digimon. Like what techniques they learn, what Digivolutions they learn, what their stats are like. I've studied all of that stuff, and taken into consideration the restrictions that I have, and I've tried to think to myself, which Digimon do I anticipate is going to be the most beneficial for this type of challenge, and Kotemon was the Digimon that I chose. His stats I'm relatively satisfied with: decent HP, decent MP, high attack. His speed is a little dodgy, and that is probably going to be his downfall, although all of his other stats are pretty decent. I think his direct Digivolutions are pretty good, because he can learn some pretty powerful fire attacks and ice attacks. He can learn to heal himself, which is going to be absolutely vital, because if I'm not allowed to use items to recover my HP in a battle, then techniques that recover HP are going to be an absolute must. Too bad I can't think of any techniques that recover MP. Yeah, his Kotemon's direct Digivolutions and techniques are pretty good going. Not only that, but I know that with Kotemon you can quite swiftly learn the Digivolution of Greymon, and then from leveling up Greymon you can learn the Digivolution of Metal Greymon and then War Greymon, who learns some very powerful fire techniques. And as well as learning the Digivolution of Greymon, I think you can quite easily quite quickly learn the Digivolutions of XVmon and Stingmon, which can lead to Pyaldramon. And then from leveling up Pyaldramon, you can learn to Digivolve to Imperialdramon and Imperialdramon Fighter Mode. Those kind of Digimon are also excellent choices when it comes to techniques, because as well as learning techniques to recover HP, they can also learn techniques to temporarily boost your stats during a battle, boost your speed, boost your defense, boost your attack, and so on. The requirements of this challenge are going to result in me having very dodgy stats, so needless to say that stat boosting techniques are going to be a huge help. Unfortunately, though, due to my inability to boost my stats, I won't be able to learn the Digivolution of Metal Garulamon. I think it's my machine tolerance that lets me down there. And the reason why I would be very keen to have Metal Garulamon is because having War Greymon and Metal Garulamon on the same Digimon can result in you learning the Digivolution of Omnimon and then later Imperialdramon Paladin mode, and I would consider them to be the best two Digimon in this game, and I'm absolutely gutted that I'm unable to learn the Digivolution of them. But from studying online, it didn't look like any of the Digimon would be able to get me the Digivolution of Omnimon and then Imperialdramon Paladin mode. And with Kotemon, at least I can get War Greymon and Imperialdramon, as well as other Digimon who are going to be very helpful, just to not necessarily the same extent, and that's why I haven't mentioned them as of yet. But as this playthrough unfolds, obviously the more that happens, the more I'll talk about, and we're just gonna see how it goes, really. Okay, I am pretty close to being a level 5. I don't know exactly how much experience Kotemon needs, but I think it's about 160, something like that. So I am almost at level 5. So I've almost made it that far. And okay, well this will get me 160 experience, so if this doesn't get me to level 5, then I'm going to be very close. Okay, I'm not there yet, but I'm in a situation where pretty much it's gonna happen any time now. Pretty much the next battle could be the one that gets me there. And the fact that it's a Kawagamon makes me pretty much certain that this battle will get me up to level 5. And there we are. Right, so I'm going to go to status, choose Digimon, Kotemon obviously, see Digivolve, put on his champion, and now every time I get into a battle, unless I'm ambushed, I'm going to begin the battle with Kotemon's champion. If I was to get into a battle as Kotemon, then it would be as a result of me getting ambushed. Which hopefully isn't going to happen much. Okay, so I've rested, I've recovered my HP and MP, and I think I'm going to save as well. And this is, I'm playing this game on the PlayStation, well, the disc that I've got is PlayStation 1, and I'm playing it on my PlayStation 2, and I believe the memory card, yep, the memory card is completely clear, and, well, let's save. I did have loads of saved data for this game, but I thought that it was all a bit of a mess, and I thought that I wanted to just wipe it and start again. And as you can see, all 3 of the slots were empty, and I'm only occupying 1. So I'm in the Forest Inn. I've got well, I'm only ever going to have Kotemon. I'm up to level 5, and I think I should call that the end of part 1, because I'm trying to keep each part at about half an hour. That's my aim, so I think this is a pretty good place to end the part. So I hope you enjoyed that opening part. I am trying my best to explain this playthrough to you to the best of my ability. Hopefully I'm doing a good job. But that is the end of part 1. I do hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you'll like it enough to stick by me with this. And to those of you who are interested, I'll be seeing you in part 2.